hope this message finds everybody healthy, happy, loving, and accomplishing whatever it is that you dream for 2020. Today we are discussing, are you in love? Do you want to be in love? And what is the best way that we can maintain love after we've met a person and have started to fall in love? Most of you know that I'm a single mom, and even though I am not married anymore, I practice these principles in all of my affairs. And I keep learning every single day, and I wanted to share with you. Do you consider love a discipline? It seems kind of school-like to say that, but in every tradition that I've learned from over the years, love is a discipline that needs to be nourished. There are 5 disciplines to love, according to my mentor, Tony Robbins, who has a 17-year marriage, and it is very passionate according to his account. I wanted to quickly go down these and see if they fall in line for you, if you agree or disagree, or maybe you could implement 1 or 2 of them. The first discipline is unconditional love and compassion. And I think we all may know this up here, but do we practice it here? I have unconditional love for my son. I'll use him for today. Do I have unconditional compassion when it's hard? I'd like to say yes, but it's definitely something that I can work on so that my judgments and my shortcomings don't get in the way of how I love him. Unconditional compassion to me is when you don't feel like it and when your partner or loved one isn't acting at their finest. Can you dig deep and find that unconditional compassion? Can we love when we're not receiving the love that we are hoping for? And that's worth thinking about in your own mind, on your own time, of how can I step up when things aren't exactly the way I want them? Because in life, if we're not consciously living, everything is about me, right? How do I get my needs met? The second one is absolute courage and vulnerability. And some of us do not like that word, vulnerable. And some of us are naturally very courageous in love, and some of us are very scared of being hurt, so we hold back. And this is something that you can think of on your own. Write down the word courage and write down the word vulnerability and say, how do I exhibit these in the love affair that I am speaking of, whether it's a friend or family? How do we show courage when we are challenged and we want to get defensive? How do we show courage in our heart that I'm willing to be open, I'm willing to listen to you, and I'm not going to get defensive. I'm going to be completely vulnerable to what you have to say, and I'm going to take my ego out of the equation and hear you. I'm going to hear what you need from me, and I'm not going to get defensive of why I'm not doing that in the current situation. That's really, really powerful. And the method that I use and teach often for this, not just about our partners or our family, is to float above when something's happening that you feel reactive towards and become the observer. So you're going 20 feet above and looking down, and you're seeing the situation of the interaction between you and the person on the other end. Act as you would want to act as the witness. Who would you be if you were watching you and you wanted to see yourself at your finest? It's a beautiful tool, and I've taught it over the years, and it's one of my clients' favorites because it's so effective. The third one, now we're getting a little bit complicated. The third one is the discipline of positive intent. Why can this be tricky? Because we are saying that what you do is not who you are. If you've disappointed me, it's not who you are. I know that you had positive intent somewhere in there because you love me, even if it hurt me. The discipline of positive intent is no matter what happens between the two of you, you understand that the person that you fell in love with always has positive intent for you. And if a fight's ensuing and you both are tending to come at each other, how do you withdraw that? You take a breath, you step away. Be that witness if you want to, and realize that even though in the moment emotions have overtaken the love, that is a false identity, and that's not who you guys are at your core. It's not who we are at our core. And we always have positive intent. The next one is the discipline of honorable language. That's not mine again. That's Tony Robbins saying the discipline of honorable language. What are my actions saying to you? What are my deeds saying to you? Honorable language comes across in many ways, not just our vocal cords. Language, your words and your deeds are either going to be honorable or threatening, dishonorable within us and within our actions during the day. We think that we know what we're doing, but there's a billion things going on inside of our bodies, inside of our minds, inside of our subconscious, rerunning all of those old programs since birth if we're not aware of those. We can become consciously aware of our honorable intentions, and it will change our lives. We can be consciously aware of our honorable language, which will change lives. My own take on this from a different mentor is that once we speak, the arrow, we're using bows and arrows here, and once I've let that arrow go, there's no capturing it. I could be regretful an instant from having blabbermouth, and there's nothing that's ever going to take that feeling back that I've launched into the universe and into someone's mind and heart. We have 2 eyes and 2 nostrils and 2 ears and 1 mouth, because we need to be very careful how we use it. We do not need to. In mysticism, we are given a certain amount of words on this planet, in this body, in this lifetime, and we are taught to use our words very wisely. I like the idea of that because it makes me try my very best to communicate with the utmost intent. Even as I speak to you right now, understand that I know but a little. I am aware, humbly aware of that. I find it's my purpose and my calling to share with you what I learn. It's why I'm on the planet. Why are you on the planet? What is that one thing that you know is your raison d'etre? I've talked about this before. What lights you up? There's innately something within us, each one of us, that gift that we have to elevate ourselves and to elevate our families and to elevate the world. And it's our responsibility to bring that out, to find it and to bring it out. So be curious, ask questions of yourself. The final point in honorable language to your partner or your loved one is never threaten. This is important. In a moment of anger, we can threaten. I'm never going to trust you again. I am never going to want to be with you again. I am never going to fill in the blanks. You will be sorry forever about this. Whatever the threat is that comes out of your mouth is something we never want to do, because again, the power of words cannot be taken back. If you think about it and feel it, if you really get conscious about what you're doing, you can feel the energy in an entire room change depending on how you say what you say. Threatening is a very weak way to communicate. The 3 F words are forgiving, forgetting, and flooding. So forgiving is obvious, but we want to truly forgive, not use whatever the moment is we're forgiving the next time that we get angry. And I realize that for most of us, it's easier for us to know this intellectually than to do it. One beautiful thing I learned years and years ago, to calm down, take a breath, and count to 10 before I was allowed to say anything. And it may seem simple, but how many of us actually do it? It was such a powerful teaching back for me in my late teens when I learned it, that during that counting of 10, my initial reaction changed 100% every single time. It's such a beautiful tool. And if you want to find out for yourself, experiment with it. Next time you want to say something at the checkout line or at the gas station or to someone that you love or someone at work, and you're about to bark out whatever your ego feels is necessary, just count to 10. And it doesn't have to be a long talk. You can like you're thinking of what to say, and then you answer with kindness. And every time, if you can find the compassion and find the forgiveness and answer in your true self, you're going to feel empowered. I know that was my experience and has been over the many years of being on the planet. Flooding positive moments with words and emotions is also a beautiful way to bring love together as a discipline of love. Looking through photo albums, watching old movies, and experiencing again something that was really, really special, a birthday, a surprise event, a really true act of love, and bonding again through those beautiful moments is a great way for us to stay connected and to stay full of love and kindness. Moving into 2020, these are just a few suggestions of how we can communicate and the disciplines of love that we can use. Peace out. Talk to you soon.